Welcome back to another episode of Weebu Slice podcast. You get your weekly anime,
gaming,
news, reviews, and discussions. Welcome back to another episode.
Welcome back, my people.
So, you already know, first thing first, we have to get the YouTube stuff out the way. So make sure you like,
comment,
share, and subscribe to the video. Make sure you like the video.
Yeah, because we see you Amber watchers out there. You guys are watching it, but you ain't liking it. So, help us out. Because, we got that gift card giveaway coming up. Get to 100 subscribers. Well, when we get to 100, we're going to put your name in the randomizer and get you guys a gift card for helping us out.
So, unfortunately, you guys, we don't have any anime topics for this week, unfortunately. E3 just wrapped up, so we basically going to do an E3 special, and basically who won E3 for us. And we're going to go in a couple of topics, a lot of publishers like Nintendo and Xbox. That's going to be mainly a topic for this week. But once again, we do apologize for no anime news.
Hey, we had to do it. It's E3 is too hot right now for us not to, talk about it.
So we're going to go about publisher. So we're going to start with Ubisoft first. And I'm going to let him take it away with this one.
So, Ubisoft. Everyone saw the Rainbow Six Siege Extraction trailer. I thought it was pretty decent. I didn't think it was too over the top. I was just like, another Rainbow Six game. I guess it'll be okay. But it didn't do anything for me.
For me personally, I looked at the trailer and I'm like, to be honest with you, I'm just going to be 100% honest. If it wasn't for the couple of publishers I'm going to list later, E3 was pretty trash overall, in my personal opinion. Like all the big dogs, Ubisoft, Capcom, all of them, they really didn't announce nothing, in my personal opinion. But back to Rainbow Six, I'm not really a huge Rainbow Six guy. It was just like, okay, it is what it is. And then I'm like the whole Ubisoft press conference, I'm like, y'all could have kept this, to be honest with you. And that's how I felt. And another game they announced at Ubisoft was Far Cry 6, which they already previously announced.
That was my bad. That was just like, we already know about this.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at regarding this whole E3 3-day Finanza. Like, most stuff they announced from these publishers was stuff we already knew about, or like DLC. And Far Cry 6, I'm like, they already went in depth like a month ago or something, like a couple weeks ago, and they showed in depth gameplay. I'm like, what else more can you show for this game?
I just feel like it was just, we're gonna hype it up more so you guys just spend that money.
What you think about Far Cry 6? First of all, you say you never really got into the franchise like that. You only played like Far Cry 4.
Yeah, I played Far Cry 4, and I played a little bit of Far Cry 3. I think that as a franchise, it's really good. I think it's very interesting that they will be bringing back some of the villains and some of the DLC for Far Cry 6. So you're going to get the villain from Far Cry 3, which is Vaz. You're going to get the villain from Far Cry 4 and the villain from Far Cry 5 and extra DLC. So that part of it was kind of interesting. But other than that, I'm just like, okay, we get it. Bad guy. Go kill him.
Yep, it's the same premise in every single game, in my personal opinion. Just different settings and different storyline of why he's a villain.
Yeah, pretty much. I think that, like you said, most of it was DLC. Like they announced DLC for Valhalla, Siege of Paris, which it sounded okay, but I'm like, oh, okay. And then they're gonna give you some free DLC as well. And then they announced DLC for Watch Dogs, which I thought was kind of interesting, just because Alan Pierce will be back, and that's the guy who played the original protagonist. So I thought that was kind of interesting. And they're going to have Wrench, which I believe is from the second Watch Dogs, which I haven't played. So I was like,
Yeah, that's the same thing I said. So while we talking about Ubisoft press conference, they announced two games that's it's brand new. It's the first announcement, and one of them was Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. And I haven't really got to that franchise like that, but I heard really great things about it. And I know it's like a strategy-based game and stuff like that. It's going to be, obviously, if it's Mario, it's going to be a Nintendo Switch exclusive. And you guys let us know, are you excited for Mario and Rabbids sequel to the one that was proclaimed, actually?
It's like an XCOM. So if you ever played XCOM with the strategy,
you played
it? I've seen it, and it's been. Have you seen? I played XCOM before, and pretty much you hide around corners and you strategize.
Yeah, it's a strategy-based game. Yeah, it's a real-time strategy game. I know
exactly.
That.
So it's pretty much the same premises. It's just a Mario spin of that.
Yeah, and it's pretty goofy and stuff like that. I get the premise. 'Cause I saw plenty of gameplay. I just never really dived into it. So I know the premise of it and stuff like that. We will be putting clips to almost all the trailers of almost every game we mentioned in this particular episode.
As much as we can, because you know how they get.
Yeah, it's pretty pretty abundance amount of trailers that have been dropped. But I'm like, we're gonna try to drop the good ones for you guys at least, so you can check out and you can actually be like, okay, at least we took out the boatware, and you guys can keep the good trailers you actually want to pay attention to anyways. So we can go on and talk about Riders Republic, and it's been announced for September 2nd, 2021. Did you check out the trailer for it?
I did. I thought that it was actually pretty good. It's pretty much like a Tony Hawkish type game, but you not only get to snowboard, you get to bike, you get to wing glide, and like I guess
Oh, it's basically all sports.
yeah, pretty much like all sports, and it looked pretty interesting. I just want to see how can they take that and implement that to where it's not laggy, and you can play with multiple people and play with friends, and do you get to create different teams, and your team goes against someone else, and you do the baddest tricks, and whoever gets the top score win. I know they had showed some different things about it, but I wonder how in depth can you really get. Can I customize my own street team or bike team or something like that and invite people to my group? It looks like an interesting premise, but
I think
only time will tell.
I think it would be based on its game modes on how good it will be. But you know how Ubisoft is, they try to follow the trend when it comes to pricing their games. And I think they're gonna try to price this at like a $70 game.
Yeah, $69.99 type deal. Unfortunately,
And you think it's actually gonna be worth that to you?
I do what I usually do. I just wait till it goes on sale.
Well, I think this come out in September. This probably be one of them games that come out in September and be on Black Friday sale. Literally,
Oh yeah, it'd be like $39.99. That's when you pick it up.
2 months later, you're like, okay, now I'm gonna check it out. But hopefully, that's why I really wanted EA to make another Skate, even though we did get another one. Hopefully, it'd be pretty good. The reason why I like Skate so much because it's like an open world. You can just go in the hub. You can skate around with your friends. You can do multiple type of game modes. The game mode they basically allow you to play. It was pretty good. It's like score attack and all that stuff. So I'm like please have a similar online experience, something to that. And it'll be I ain't say a day one purchase, but I'll check it out.
Yeah, it's definitely. Oh, by no means is it a day one. Yeah, I was just like, looks an interesting premise for the right price. I might play.
So now let's talk about Capcom. Capcom, they basically just say, you know what, we're just going to announce all games that's already out, and we're just going to talk about DLC. And the first thing they're going to talk about is Monster Hunter Rise get DLC. I'm like, but Monster Hunter Rise actually sold like 2 or 3 million copies already. It's already successful. Like, the thing is, I was really hoping for Street Fighter 6 or something regarding that.
Yeah, I didn't think that they were going to announce something like that. I didn't expect them to announce the other Monster Hunter game that's coming out.
Well, that's next month, so
yeah,
I'm pretty positive they're going to announce that's literally less than a month away. So, like, they literally dropped 2 Monster Hunter games within a 3-month span.
Yeah,
so.
Monster Hunter Story 2, Wings of Ruin, but it's not like the regular Monster Hunter games because this one actually originated on the Nintendo 3DS, and you're riding on a monster and you're using your monster as a fighting tool as well, which makes it a little bit different from the others. So it's an interesting concept, and they're going to be having a collaboration DLC between the two games. So if you play one, you get DLC from the other. So it's pretty much a premise to, if you're a big Monster Hunter fan, that, hey, you get some extra.
Both.
Yep.
It's good to own both.
Exactly.
They try to pull a Pokemon. That's what they basically what they trying to pull. Similar games, but different little premise on the like surface level. But they want you to purchase both of them. But we'll see. The first one was really highly successful. It's probably one of the best running visually and performance-wise game on the Nintendo Switch. I heard a lot of great things about it. Me personally, I just haven't really got into Monster Hunter like that. It's really grindy, and it's
super grindy.
And it demands a lot of your time that I don't have to give to it. And I have it on both systems. I just don't have it on PS5 and I have it on Xbox, but I just don't have time to dedicate it to. I heard a lot of great things about it. I dabbled into it a little bit.
Well, the good thing about Monster Hunter games is, for the most part, all the DLC for most Monster Hunter games I play is completely free.
Not the last one for Monster Hunter. That's
not Iceborne.
Yeah,
Iceborne was the first one you had to pay for.
Oh, okay.
But before that, like I played a lot of them on 3DS. They had pretty cool DLC. Devil May Cry, Mario DLC, where you can dress up your I forget the name of the cat, but you can dress the cat up and different things like that.
I know Capcom have so many franchises. I know we just recently got Devil May Cry, so I know that's not what's going to happen. But I'm like, let's get a Street Fighter. All y'all been doing is announcing battle passes, like new character here, new stage here. I'm like, come on, let's give us a new Street Fighter at this point in time. We haven't had a new Street Fighter since the beginning stages of the PS4 launch window. And that's been since like 2013, 2014. So that's almost 7. That's more than enough time to give us an announcement for a new Street Fighter right about now.
Yeah, they're still riding the high off 5, I guess. But speaking of DLC, the Resident Evil DLC that they announced,
And you hear what they said about regarding that? They goes like, we giving you guys DLC because you guys
yeah,
want it.
yeah,
I said,
exactly.
nobody, no. If you gonna give us DLC, we want it.
asked
Give
for
us a
that?
free. Give it to us for free.
Did I
Then,
ask for that? Did you ask for that? Did you guys ask for that? Because I think they just want our money.
yeah. Like I heard a decent amount of good things about it, but I'm like, come on now. We did not ask for DLC. If you're gonna give us some DLC, we asked for it. We like, okay, give it to us for free then, or
Yeah.
a decent, reasonable price. They're gonna try to charge this DLC probably almost like half the price of the full game.
Yeah, that's usually how it is. Then they also said, yeah, RE Versus is still coming.
Terrible.
So it didn't look that great from the little screen.
Did you play Resident Evil 3, right?
I did not play Resident Evil 3.
So Resident Evil 3 actually have a multiplayer online component also called REverse, and it's terrible. It's terrible. And I know I watched a lot of beta players playing the beta for RE7 online multiplayer portion, and it was the same premise. It ran terrible. It ran terrible. It's like it's not even fun. It's just something to do to kill time, and there's no type of hype behind it. I think it's just gonna flop, just like how RE3 multiplayer did.
Oh, wow.
So I have no investment into that.
Yeah, the only multiplayer I thought was decent because it was co-op was RE5, Resident Evil.
Well, that's different. That's more story driven. Like this
Yeah.
is literally just
This was just a versus multiplayer.
Yeah, it's
so,
PvP. Like
Exactly.
It's terrible. But last but not least, Capcom ended a press conference talking about the Capcom Pro Tour fighting tournament regarding esports, and I'm like, really? So I'm keep talking about Street Fighter because I'm like, you gonna announce, you gonna take 10 minutes at your press conference to announce esports? Like, we not here for no esports. No offense to anybody who plays esports.
We hear about the games.
No.
We hear about what's going on. We want to see what's new.
No offense to any of you competitive players out there. I once wanted to be a competitive player, but we do not care about competitive tournaments at E3. We want to hear game announcement. We do not care about what's going on within the esports world. We do not care. And to get that for 10 minutes of Capcom press conference was a complete waste of time.
I agree. Capcom's was very lackluster, to say the least.
While we on the topic, we're going to venture back a little bit. We're going to get grades on both, on Ubisoft and Capcom. So for me, I'm being brutal this week. I used to be, the last couple weeks I've been
Give it to them.
polite for both, because the reason I was going to get both of them same time, both of them get a D. They barely passed. Both of them a D. And I'm like, you know what? You can really, low-key could have kept those. You could have kept those press conferences because we really didn't get any substantial news from either one of them.
Yeah.
You could just did a trailer like here on Twitter somewhere. Bam, here you go. Call it a day.
I would have to agree with you, even though there was one particular game, which is the Riders Republic. I'm still going to have to give it a D as well because it just wasn't enough substance there. It wasn't enough for me to get excited. It wasn't enough for me to say, hey, let me run to GameStop or go online and reserve these right now. These are going to be epic or whatever the case may be. So I'm going to have to agree with you. You get a D.
Yeah, and it was not even average. It wasn't even average. So it is what it is. But let's talk about Namco Bandai. They had a similar premise. They was talking about games that's coming out recently and games they already previously announced. But I will give them credit for this. But this actually occurred during Microsoft press conference, I presume. They announced Elden Ring, and they gave it a release date of January 21st, 2022. So I'm like, I know a lot of people was excited for that when they first saw the news. They're like, oh my god, like this looked really good.
Well, it's the most. If you remember at the Game Awards last year, it was the most anticipated game that no one got any type of information for. So once you get gameplay, you get backstory, you see what the graphics are looking like, you get a release date. So you're like, yes, and more, yes.
It's basically just a Demon Souls like game.
I would say not really.
It reminded me of what the game you just Sekiro a little bit.
I think it's taking dimensions from both, but I think that the key component that's going to take the combat to a new level is the fact that the enemies that you kill, you can summon them.
Oh, that's dope.
To help you fight other enemies.
That's dope.
So I think that premise alone is going to take the combat to a whole nother level because pretty much it's like Pokemon. Got to catch them all. The better demons that you slay, the better demons you can capture, the
But
better
I
demons
think
help you fight.
I do think it's like a high risk, high reward type of ordeal. The
Oh,
big,
you know it's going to be.
yeah. Like, so if you're going to fight a boss, and you like, I really want him on my as an ally, you're gonna have to pay. You're gonna have to, take some time to actually beat this boss because you know how it is in Demon Souls.
Well, I'm not sure if it's the bosses, but all the other
Oh, it's like
monsters.
even like the mini,
Like,
like the mini, like the regular characters
like
like
the
that.
yeah, pretty much just the
But
regular enemies.
the
I'm not
regular
sure if you can capture a boss and then take it against another
that
boss.
would be dope if you could do a boss like that. But regular enemies, they was kind of trash.
Well, these enemies seem pretty particularly good. They have some that long range, short range.
Uh,
These weren't like the dummy enemies that you would see in like Demon Souls that we play. These type of enemies seem like they're more sophisticated and well thought out because you can capture them.
Okay, got it. Got to make sure because you know how
Yeah, they're not like the drugs that
Yeah.
are just pretty much stupid and just stand. No,
Yeah.
they're not like that at all.
or
So
like little skeletons that you can just go behind, stab them in the back, and call it a day.
exactly, it kind of reminds me of a very old game. I'm just gonna go way out there real quick. It reminds me of Castlevania, Summer Sorrows. I believe that's the correct name. And pretty much what it is you are under the Castlevania characters, and you go around, and every enemy that you kill, you have a chance to capture their soul, and you get special powers for it.
Yep. So, I think it's gonna be a pretty good game. I don't know, I'm actually was surprised I got Demon Souls day one. That was like surprised, but I think I was more under the new console hype. So I'm like, I need.
Oh yeah, yeah. That was definitely
So-
new console hype.
So I don't know if I'm diving in Elden Ring day one. Depends on what's going on.
Oh, it's a day one for
Yeah.
me. It's a day one.
I'll think about it. Still up in the air for me. But while we talking about Bandai Namco, they just announced some more information regarding Scarlet of the Nexus, and they actually released a demo recently. So if you guys want to check it out, you can just download it right now and actually see how you like it for yourself. It's the JRPG game we mentioned earlier. We actually I think we put it in one of our videos before, and it basically I originally thought it was gonna be multiplayer, but it's just a single player themed RPG. And basically, I was looking at some video recently, and like you can free roam, you can go around Japan. They were showing like Tokyo Tower and stuff like that, and I'm like, it's cool, but it's still not speaking to me. Like you need to try this out. And to be honest with you, I think it's gonna sell not the greatest because what they offering it's like okay, it is what it is. It's like a average game. You have any thoughts on Scarlet Nexus? I know you've seen it a lot lately.
I've seen it, but I think that it's going to be an average game. I don't think it's worth your time, to be honest, from my personal opinion, from what we've seen. If you do decide you want to play that type of game, and I would say get it at the lowest value possible.
Yes, get it because Namco, Bandai, they be doing a lot of discounts on their games. They be having anime themed discounts.
Oh yeah, they have if you check the stores, you'll always find some type
Yeah.
of discount. You'll find some type of deal.
Yeah.
As of this broadcast, if you look on the Microsoft store or even in the Nintendo store, they're running deals right now just for E3.
Yep.
55% off Microsoft right now,
Yep.
and I think upwards of maybe 75% off on Nintendo. So it's a good time to buy games.
Always a good time around this time of season. Like we mentioned, it's E3 season, baby. So get excited. So, next thing for Bandai, they was talking about a game regarding House of Ashes. So it's basically a horror theme story-based game. Usually, basically it's like Until Dawn. If you haven't played Until Dawn, have you played it?
I have not played Until Dawn. I know the premise though.
Yeah. So the premise, like, they have like four people. Like it's like basically like a movie set almost. They have a group of friends and they have different settings, and basically you control. It's like a butterfly effect. You basically control who stay alive and who dies, and your whole premise is trying to keep everybody alive the whole time. So you basically make certain choices to try to save everybody. But you know how that usually goes. You really need a walkthrough to really try to save everyone. But people die here and left and right. And this is like the third installment of the game because they had Until Dawn. They had two other games. I actually own one of them. This one, the one I owned, was like they was in a submarine, and it was like a whole bunch of ghosts and stuff like that. And basically, the people was hallucinating each other. So they'll see they think they seen demons and stuff like that, but it's really another human.
Oh.
And they basically killing each other. They basically thinking that the human's a ghost or a person trying to kill them and stuff like that. So that's one of them. Then they have another one just came out recently, and then it's basically another installment of that. So basically a horror theme story decision-based game. That's the whole premise of it. So you could, like I mentioned, these are games you can catch on discount. My high recommendation probably come to Game Pass because I know one of them is on Game Pass right now. They probably come to Game Pass. That, in my personal opinion, that'd be the best time to check it out. Don't my personal opinion, do not buy this game for full purchase for a full retail price. Do not do that to yourself. So, you got any questions regarding this before we put a grade on it?
No, not with Bandai Namco. Theirs was pretty short. It was disappointing. I think a lot of people, I was reading some of the comments when I was in there, and they were like, "Ooh, new Naruto." Ooh.
Yes.
Like,
so that's why I was going to try to just go over and hit it briefly because it wasn't too much news regarding Bandai Namco. Because the rumor on the street was they probably been announcing a Xenoverse 3, and everybody I don't know why, but everybody want a Xenoverse 3. And they're like, okay, since these new consoles out, we got way better hardware. You give us destructible environments. Give us this. Give us that. And it was like literally a huge rumor going around saying Xenoverse 3 was going to be announced. And once again, they're going to just announce more DLC for Xenoverse 2, which has been out for like 4 years already.
Yeah, they do the same thing with
Shinobi Strikers. I said, give us a new Naruto game. Like, come on.
Especially where they are at in the anime, I think that Naruto definitely deserves a game, but it is what it is. You can't get everything you want.
Yeah, all they're going to do is announce, because they recently announced a new DLC character for Shinobi Strikers, and I'm like, you could have kept that too. Like, well, it's different, because to be honest with you, they didn't announce it through E3. They just basically just pull a trade out and say, here, if you want to get this new DLC character, you can get it if you want to. And to be honest with you, they could do a whole press conference that way, to be honest with you.
Yeah. If I had to give Bandai Namco a grade, I'm going to give them a D too.
Also, yeah.
Like, the only great thing was Elden Ring, but it really didn't come from them. It came from
Microsoft.
From another party. So,
yeah. So, yeah, that's why I was mentioning earlier, E3 was literally kind of lackluster. If it wasn't for the two major publishers, we're going to hit them later. But besides that, E3 was like, kind of lackluster, to be honest with you. If it wasn't for them, I'm like, well, we don't even need E3. You could have kept it moving. Like, Sony, like, you know what? It's not even the point no more. We can just do our own thing. And I was kind of upset at first when they first said something like that, like 2 years ago. And I'm like, man, why would y'all do E3 like that? E3 is like the biggest showcase of video games ever. And now I can kind of see it, the writing on the wall a little bit. Like, you know what? Sony kind of actually was right. Even though Nintendo do their own stuff, like the Treehouse and, State of Play.
Nintendo Direct.
Yes. But they still participate fully at E3. So I just wish Sony could give us a little something at E3 too. But we're going to actually hit the last big publisher regarding like third-party games, and that's going to be Square Enix.
Yeah. I think Square Enix was just another one with lackluster things to talk about. Like, I think the one game that I did kind of enjoy that I think I might check out is called Babylon's Fall. It's an MMORPG, not an MMORPG, just an MMORPG, which is just multiplayer, RPG. And pretty much it's from the makers of Nier Automata, and they wanted to make a hack and slash, but they wanted to make it to where you can play with other people. So
did you see the trailer of this?
Yeah.
You really liked it?
Yeah, it's pretty good. It literally looks just like Nier Automata, but you have more people, more weapons, more characters, and Nier Automata was a very good game.
Did you play Nier?
I did play Nier.
I got it. I played it too. It was pretty decent.
It's pretty good. So, and they actually went into details, and they were talking about why they wanted to create it and how good Nier did, and how they just wanted to pretty much be able to play with people and have that same experience and make a hack and slash.
I got you.
So I thought that was pretty interesting. That was probably one of the more interesting things that Square Enix had to talk about. But everybody who's Life is Strange fans, you're going to get the remastered edition that comes September 30th. And then they have a new Life is Strange that comes out September, 10th? Yeah.
Yes, 10th.
So that one looked okay.
The thing is, I actually tried Life is Strange. It's like episodic.
I'm about to say it's episodic and it's decision based, pretty much.
They give you like the first episode for free, but I never ever can get into I get into the Walking Dead episodic episodes, but for Life is Strange,
like the Telltale games, unfortunately they went under, but those were good.
They actually, I think they supposed to be making a comeback, but dude, like I never ever can get into Life is Strange. I'm like, this is not for me. Like. And it's like you said, I think it's about a girl. She's just going through like things. Don't she got some like psychotic powers or something like that?
Well, in the first story, the chick can, I believe, stop time.
That's what I thought.
Doing something with time. Yeah. In the second story, the chick can pretty much feel like your aura or demeanor, and she can feel like use the power of empathy is what it's called, and she can kind of tell what you're really thinking of what you really feel like based on what your aura has around you. So it's an interesting concept. I know a lot of people like Life is Strange, so I felt like I just needed to at least tell you, like, hey,
Yep,
go check it out because it's got a big following behind it.
it
So
does.
it is what it is.
And I agree with you. So for the last thing we talk about regarding Square Enix is actually the game we was talking about, the little Souls like Final Fantasy game.
Yeah.
They actually announced that.
Yeah, they actually announced it.
And it's basically called Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin, and it's actually coming out 2022. But if you own a PS5, I'm not 100% sure on Xbox, but if you own a PS5, you one of them lucky owners out there, you can download the demo right now and try it out for yourself. And I actually did try it out for myself, and it's kind of like a mixture of Demon Soul and Devil May Cry. It's really not demons, like it's not like extra difficult or nothing like that. But
yeah, I was saying from the trailer that I saw, it didn't look like it was too hard. It
No.
looked like just a mixture of like
Yeah.
Final. Cause I'm like, this looks like Final Fantasy, and
Yeah.
then when they announced it, I said, "Oh, this is definitely look like a Final Fantasy."
Dude.
But it has a kind of hack and slash kind of to it.
it's a hack and slash. Yeah, that's why I said Devil May Cry, because Devil May Cry is a hack and slash.
And-
It's literally a hack and slash, but it has a couple of mechanics from Demon Souls, like counter attack. You can do a couple of counters. You can move around. You can dodge, stuff like that. So I'm like, it got a little mechanics from Demon Souls, but it's definitely a hack and slash at its core.
Yeah, but it's going to be coming out for all consoles except for Switch, unfortunately.
And on top of that, it is slower pace. It's not like Ninja Gaiden and all that stuff. It has extra fast pace combat action. So it's
more like that Demon Souls,
Yeah, it's
kind
very-
of slow, take
yeah.
your time.
Yep, the combat speed is toned down dramatically.
Okay.
So I would say that. But to be honest with you, for to be a PS5 game, I don't want to sound like a jerk or anything like that. I think this game low key run on 360, and I'm not even trying to be a jerk. Like graphically
It
wise,
didn't look like it was impressive. I will say that.
It was not
but maybe they'll do what Halo did, and
but I don't think they're going to do that because they didn't get as much flack as Halo got when they announced their stuff.
that's true.
So I'm like, you know what?
But I'll keep my comments about that till the next segment.
Yeah. So that's what we got from Square Enix. Put a grade on it. Like I said, I'm gonna be 100% honest with you guys. All third-party E3 announcements, all D.
Yeah, it was a D for me because they didn't even announce stuff like Final Fantasy 1 through 6 coming to Steam and PC.
Terrible.
And I was just like,
Not even just
you can get that on any other system.
Not even Steam and PC. They actually announced it for mobile too.
Yeah,
I'm like-
mobile. Yeah, matter of fact, Square Enix announced 4 mobile games,
Yeah.
and I was just like,
Keep that. You could have kept that.
Yeah.
This is for if you're watching E3, the majority of the audience are hardcore gamers.
yeah,
They
they
not-
announced a near game, freaking Hitman. I was just like,
Yeah, like nobody really care about that stuff. But let's talk about the more exciting stuff that happened on E3. I will give credit where credit is due. Microsoft actually redeemed themselves in this year's E3. For the last several years, I felt like they had a lackluster, announcements, and because I feel like every announcement, every year they like, okay, we buying more studios, and I feel like they finally come into fruition now.
you see why they bought all the studios. That's what it comes down to.
They are finally coming to fruition, and I'm like, finally we can start getting some stuff and for Microsoft. And I'm not even mad for them making games that's exclusive for their platform either. Like it is what it is.
Everyone else does it. You can do it too.
So while we're talking about PC and Xbox exclusive, what about that Starfield news?
Oh yeah, that's a day one. Easy.
People was on PlayStation side upset. It was so bad that one of the people that work on the game itself had to apologize to the PlayStation fan base.
Yeah, because you should have known it was coming. They should have known it was coming. Well, I don't get to play Starfield. This is some BS. Blase. Well, sorry. Go get you an Xbox. They had them in store the other day. If you want to you could have got one.
That's true. So I was telling you, remember we had this conversation. I was talking to a family member of mine, and this is off script, and we basically was talking about we was having a mini debate like how difficult it is to get a PS5 compared to a Xbox Series console. And I was just like, you know what? I ain't trying to be a jerk, but it's much harder to get a PS5 than it is to get an Xbox. I'm telling him, like, I had numerous occasions to get multiple Xbox. Like, nah, because my such coworker have his PS5 in his office, and he just leave it there like he don't care about it. I'm like, that's just him personally. You can't use anecdotal experiences for everybody.
Right.
And I'm telling you, it's much difficult to get the PlayStation. But good news for Xbox fans, Starfield look amazing.
Yeah, that looked good.
Like
That's definitely a day one.
you,
I recommend everybody go get it.
Listen, that's being 100 honest with everybody, 100% honest. You don't have to buy anything for Xbox. If you got Game Pass, every game that was listed at their press conference is going to be a Game Pass day one. So
Well, not every game.
No, it's on every game that's made by Microsoft.
Yeah, well, yeah, because they listed 30 games, 27 exclusive, 27 games on Game Pass, and 6 exclusive games.
Yeah.
So, and we will drop pictures and we will drop the list of games so that you guys will know exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I was getting. Like, what I'm referring to is our Xbox exclusive games. They all gonna be on Game Pass. So it's no reason if you already have Game Pass, it's just an extra extensive.
Pretty much. It's like, hey, you got Game Pass, you getting these games, dropped day one.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna try it out through that way through Game Pass, most definitely.
That's the smartest way to do it. Save a buck.
So while we talking about Game Pass, we talking about let's go ahead and get into Back 4 Blood. That same game we mentioned episodes back. If you want to go check it out, go check it out.
Yeah,
but
the makers of Left 4 Dead for everyone who's not tracking.
Yeah, so the makers for Left 4 Dead. It's basically a successor to it. It's the same premise. You get multiple stages, 4 characters. It's literally a Left 4 Dead light game, to be honest with you.
Exactly. It looks pretty interesting though. So,
and it's gonna be on Game Pass, so everybody most definitely try it out. I'm gonna see how I actually used to play a lot of Left 4 Dead back in the day. Especially Left 4 Dead 2. I actually enjoyed, especially playing with friends and family and stuff like that. I always thought it was a good premise. It was a good way to drop in. It don't take too much investment to drop in, get a couple of hours in a game, and then drop back out. So sometimes I like those type of games because you don't have to invest too much time, and like I feel obligated to go back to it. Or if I don't,
you don't have to do all this level up and all this.
Yeah.
Pretty much the grindy nature of a lot of RPGs and stuff like that, where if you're not playing, you will be reprimanded type of deal.
Or you're going to be at a disadvantage if you don't continue to play.
Or like 2K, for example. If you don't grind, then you won't be good.
Yeah. So while we talking about that, Psychonauts 2 finally gets a release date for August 25th, which is literally 2 months away.
Yeah, that's very, very much around the corner.
So while you guys waiting for Psychonauts 2, I'm going to give you another drop, a little gem. Psychonauts 1 is actually on Game Pass right now. If you want to go actually play that before actually playing part 2, you can just go literally download if you got Game Pass and just play the whole game automatically for the cost of admission free. So if you know this is your first time actually even hearing about Psychonauts and you want to get into it and you thinking about getting into it, just go download it.
Might as well try it for free on Game Pass.
Yeah, go ahead and try it out. Like I said, if you don't like it, just delete it. What's the harm of trying out something that you don't really have to have an investment and a huge investment in? So while we talking about Microsoft this, Microsoft that, Halo finally came out and announced a multiplayer that's going to be free to play. So I think going free to play was the best decision Microsoft can go regarding Halo. Because the best thing is get the most amount of people into your game.
Well, you have to get the most amount of people games you can. You know what I'm saying, to get the hype up. But I think it was also a situation like we have to compete with a lot of these.
These free to play games like Fortnite,
Apex,
and of course Warzone. So I think it's a huge win because I think, and then I'm not even gonna forget about you guys. You Destiny levels out there because I was looking at Halo. I'm like, dang, this really look like Destiny. Like it's really
it was looking. It was definitely looking like that. But it was looking like even the gameplay from the actual trailer looked good. I said, this look nothing like what we saw last year.
Yeah.
I said went back, revamped, tore it down, broke it down, and rebuilt it back up from scratch. And I said, I'm gonna have to get this.
Yeah, it's free, so it's no price of admission. So I'm like, okay, because Halo, Bungie is really the Halo developers, and they who make Destiny now. And I'm like, this actually look pretty good. Now, hopefully, it doesn't oversell us because I really nowadays after we've been burned from Cyberpunk, we don't want to resurface that again. I really go in there with a low level of,
Yeah, you can't be too over the top and be excited. Just go in there with, don't go with too much anticipation because if your anticipation is high, you get let down.
Yeah, I go in there a low level of anticipation now. But you know what? If it wins me over, it wins me over like the dodgeball game. And it's pretty good because I went in there with no expectation.
Knockout City, you guys should go play.
with no expectations at all. I'm like, first when I first saw the trailer, I'm like, this game looked terrible. Who idea was this? And then I actually gave it a try because it was free. And I'm like, actually, I take back every word I said. This actually is pretty damn fun. And I mean, if we got to give it a grade, I give it like a B plus. Like it's really good, especially for like some you want to just jump in, play a couple of games in with your friends, bam, and keep it moving. Much play. But yeah, back to Halo. I'm gonna try Halo. I was one of them guys growing up. I always wanted to like try Halo, but I never actually dabbled into it. And I dabbled into Halo 5 a little bit, but obviously Halo 5 is not the best Halo of the series. So I'm gonna give it another try now, especially if it's free to play, and it looked pretty good. But I know for a fact Microsoft's gonna monetize the crap out of this game.
Oh yeah, well they got to make their money somewhere, so you got to expect it now with these gaming companies, unfortunately.
Yeah. So we'll see. If you guys excited for Halo, most definitely let us know too, because I think it's gonna be a turning point for the series, even for the bad or for the good. But it's definitely gonna be a turning point for the series.
Yeah. Well, they also announced, Microsoft announced the Outer Worlds 2.
Dude, it came so freaking fast. Like the announcement, I'm like, Outer Worlds just dropped last year.
Yeah, but it did so good because it's from some of the game developers.
Obsidian. It's from Obsidian
Exactly.
Entertainment. Same people who originally did Fallout New Vegas.
Yeah.
So they really good when it comes to RPG mechanics and stuff like that, and that Fallout gameplay type of style. So,
but there's no release date on that, unfortunately.
but I know they're reusing a lot of the assets from the original game, but to drop a trailer a year later for the sequel is crazy in this era. Only time you've seen stuff like that is during like the 32-bit era, 64-bit era, when the game was just popping out left and right. But to see it in modern day era, like with the voice acting and all that extra stuff, and it comes out, it being announced within a 9 to 10 month span. I said, oh, I did not see that coming, but. I haven't played Outer Worlds 1 yet.
Yeah, I haven't played Outer Worlds 1 yet either. I want to see if it's on the shop. If it's on sale, I might grab it.
It's on Game Pass already.
Yeah.
But while we was taking flights and stuff like that, Microsoft Simulator finally got a release day, and it's coming up literally next month. And the thing I don't like is I do really want to play. I really want to check it out. When I was younger, I actually used to play flight simulator games all the time with the little joystick when you move back and forth.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I used to play those. I was like 5th grade. I used to play that all the time. And I used to love playing Microsoft Flight Simulator. But the only thing that's like even for the Series X, and we all know the hardware specs for that machine is pretty beefy. And it's only going to be running at 30 frames per second. I'm like, this game really must be hardware intensive if it only can run at 30 frames per second.
Yeah. Just from the looks of it, it looked like it was pretty intensive. I think the one thing about the game that stood out to me is the DLC that's coming out that's going to have Top Gun Maverick.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
If you're a Top Gun fan, aka the Aviators, because that's where they pretty much got popular, I think that's going to be pretty cool, especially with the movie getting ready to come out around the same time. So I think that's definitely, I would say it's a buff or incentive to at least try it out.
But I want to say this: I think the file size for the game is almost gonna take up your whole hard drive.
I can believe it.
Like it's pretty big, and then they still have the proprietary Seagate memory cards, and they still going. They still haven't dropped in price at all.
But they only have the 1 terabyte ones. I wonder if they're gonna get like.
You know how much a 1 terabyte costs?
Yeah, it's like $100.
No, it's not.
How much is the 1 terabyte?
1 terabyte is $219.
$219. I feel like they need the bigger cards.
That's why I said they
need like a 4 terabyte card.
Yeah, even for 1 terabyte, it's $219, and I'm like, and it's proprietary, so you can't get like a SSD, NVMe type of slot drive or SSD. From a third party, you have to get it from Microsoft.
They made sure that you had to get it from them.
So I'm like, that's cool that you guys already have it available because Sony still haven't actually allowed you to buy a third party SSD as of right now. But I'm like, dude, y'all charge extra high for this. Well, SSD is pretty still high, but I'm like, you cannot compete because there's no actually competition out there, so you can list the price how high
you want to.
Yeah, and I'm like, come on, man. So I'm like really, really skeptical about actually upgrading my storage because I have like a full terabyte external hard drive. I'm like, man, I understand the premise that you need these read and write speeds to actually play these games, but like, come on, just give us a discount, $30 or something. But I know for a fact it's gonna take a majority of the hard drive. But The last topic we were going to talk about regarding Microsoft press conference when they dropped Forza Horizon 5.
Oh
And
yeah, that looked good too.
and they had so many mini games. Like they had Rocket League. I'm
Yeah, they
like,
have mini games. The cars look good. The different environments you can go to. I was just like, man, this is impressive.
Yeah, it was.
It felt like you were taking full advantage of the system and what it's capable of.
Yes, 4K 60. I'm like, this one look really, really beautiful. And not just that, it's coming out this November, so it's coming out this year. I'm surprised they even announced it because this is the same studio that's working on Fable. I'm pretty positive this is the same people who working on Fable, also same studio. So I'm like, how did you pump out this and at the same time? But Forza Horizon is always good games to actually own. Every single one of them was pretty good. Then the mini games, they had so many, and it's gonna be open world in Mexico. And like I was looking at all the murals and how the visuals, they said they take pictures in 12K, so they can actually be very detailed inside of the game itself. So that's actually gonna be a really good racing game to check out. Especially,
And it comes out November 9th, 2021.
yeah, I already knew I had a good idea when it was coming out, but most definitely I'm checking that out. And like I said earlier, once again, this will also be on Game Pass. So Game Pass is gonna be a good thing to have, especially for kids. If you have a child, or something like that, and you want to buy them with just a system, you don't really want to buy a whole bunch of games behind it. Again,
Getting Game Pass to save you a lot of money in the long run.
and I know a lot of people thinking when we watched our previous episode, like, damn, he really a Sony boy. He's really a Sony fan. But I'm like, not really. I own all systems, but I'm gonna get credit when credit is due. And Microsoft is actually heading into the right direction. So kudos to them. So while we talking about Xbox, let's go ahead and put a grade on it. For me, they did pretty good. I think they could have just did a little bit better. I think for me personally, I think it's a B plus.
I'm gonna give them an A.
I give them a B plus. It's almost at an A minus, but I think they could. Because the thing is, a lot of these games, they did a pretty good job of it. But I just think they could have gave us a little teaser, a couple of other stuff regarding
Well, they also said that those games are still in development, but they didn't give you anything to go off of besides pretty much their word.
Yeah, that's it.
And right now, gaming companies, you really don't like what they say. Let's be honest. We want the proof of the pudding. So
yeah, so especially because COVID played a huge role in a lot of people having a game delayed. Yeah. So I do give you guys kudos for doing a great press conference this year. So kudos to you guys once again. So let's talk about the main man in the room, Nintendo. Nintendo came out with some boxing gloves because they was knocking everybody out with their press conference. I mean, they was on fire. If you don't own a Switch, I highly recommend getting one at this point. The only thing they didn't announce, which I think they just trying to, Nintendo, they be trying to reel you in slowly. And I'm pretty positive they're going to announce that Nintendo Switch Pro one of these days. I just don't know when. It just keep coming up over and over and over again.
I think that was one of the things that kind of hurt them.
Yeah.
Is not announcing Nintendo Switch Pro or whatever it's going to be called. Pretty much the new Nintendo Switch.
I think it's going to be called, I'm sorry about that. It's going to be called the new Nintendo Switch. And I'm like, I can see that because they did the exact same thing for the 3DS. But they started out the show with Kazuya being announced for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and he was just throwing all the characters off the cliff like, here, you going. And they basically when they announce a character in Smash, they always pay homage to the original IP. So if you ever played Tekken before, you already know what Kazuya is about. And I think I don't know if he's 100% sure related to like Jin, but they have similar background stories.
Yeah, you saw like a quick fight between him and Hayachi. I think I said it right. And it was pretty interesting. And he still had that Tekken feel throughout the whole like fight and everything that you saw from. So it was pretty incredible. So I'm like, man, I might have to go get one of those passes and just get all of those characters.
To be honest with you, I literally thought about the same thing too. But the thing from Smash is they need to update their net code so for the online experience can be better.
Yeah, I heard that's the one thing. The online experience is not that great right now.
So that's a lot of great things for Smash. And I'm pretty positive that was the very last character that was supposed to be announced for Smash. So I think they had a great lineup. Even for the original character roster was pretty good in my opinion,
Oh
personal
yeah,
opinion.
the original character was like 70 characters, 75,
Yeah.
and now it's probably closer to what, almost 100.
Yeah,
So
right.
yeah, as far as Smash goes, hands down one of the best characters rosters, especially everyone that they keep bringing in.
Yep.
So
So while we talking about Smash and Mario, let's talk about some Mario Golf that's been announced. And the last Mario game I actually played was like for GameCube, and they basically really trying to sell you on Mario Golf to be exact.
it looked good.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna lie.
yeah.
It looked good. I said, man, I might have to get this.
Yeah.
Speed golf, battle golf,
Yeah.
adventure golf.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, that's a lot of golf, but this looked
and I
pretty
think
good.
it all goes online too.
Yeah, you can play with friends. You can play online.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, they might get me with this golf game. And not only that, but you can play, with the Switch controller and actually swing it like a golf club,
Like
or
you
you
playing
can
Wii.
just play it with regular with a controller. And I was like, man, this golf looks very good, and I think it got me with the speed golf and the battle golf and the adventure golf. Just the different modes you can play, I think was very interesting. And that game comes out June 25th.
So that's right
around the corner.
Literally less than a month, almost a month away from here, this recording. So, like I said, I really never I dabbled into, like I mentioned earlier, GameCube, and that was it. But this, I'm like, you know what? This is actually pretty appealing. Like, for $60, you probably got me a little bit. But the game that got me, I announced it on the head, and my predictions came true. So we're gonna talk about that a little bit later, and I'm excited for that one. But the thing that caught me off guard, I was surprised that they was gonna say anything regarding Metroid. And I think we made a prediction like they gonna say something about Metroid 4, but instead they threw us a curveball.
Yeah.
Instead of
they said Metroid 4 is still under production.
We can't give you Metroid 4, but we can give you something just to crave that little craving that you guys have going on. How about Metroid Dread? I'm sorry about that.
Metroid Dread.
So that actually is going to be released October 8, 2021. So that's right.
That
It's late
is
fall.
a must cop. If you don't cop, that's like an exclusive that you have to get. Like, it looked good for it, and it's the first 2D Metroid game in 19 years.
It's in 19, I thought it was 13.
No, 19 years.
Dang, so when was the last one? Like Super Nintendo or something like that?
A long time ago.
Like, dang. But that is, did you see what's going on eBay right now?
I did not see what's going on.
So they announced a collector's edition for this particular game, and it sold out immediately. And scalpers got a hold of it, and they reselling it on eBay right now for $200 plus.
Oh yeah, when I went, me being me, I was excited. I went to GameStop and I actually reserved it, and I tried to get a collector's edition. They said we don't have any more, so I ended up just getting the regular edition. But listen to your boy; it's gonna be a game to get. You're gonna regret it if you got to switch it. You don't at least get it.
But I'm glad they're not pulling one of those, Super Mario anniversary type of deal that's gonna be around periodically for this particular time span. You can just buy it digitally.
You can definitely buy it digitally. I'm just saying,
because I don't think
get it.
Based on like the visual and all that stuff, I think it's not gonna take that much storage up anyway, especially if you got an SD.
It's a 2D side scroll. It's definitely not.
For me, if I do decide to get it, I'm just gonna get it digitally because I'm not gonna trade it in. I'm just gonna keep it.
I like hard copies, so I just went up there and I grabbed it because your boy went up there and did some research for you guys. Just so you know. Went up there and I talked to a certain sales associate, and remember how we told you guys, man, they're going to be hiring extra staff on, the 15th and the 16th. Well, unfortunately, we all saw that there was no new Switches that were coming out, or Switch Pros, whatever you like to call it. They had just got regular Switches in stock. So unfortunately, that was the only thing that happened. They got regular Switches in stock, and that's why they had the extra personnel.
Got it. But Metroid never sold 3 million copies. You know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Metroid never. Out of every game Metroid came out with, they never sold 3 million copies. So I'm pretty positive this is going to be the first Metroid game to hit 3 million. And I think it's going to hit it in like the first month.
Well, they got my money.
First month. So we'll see. I may check it out. Most likely I would definitely get it. But we're going to put some trailers. Like I said, all the good games that we talk about in this particular episode, we definitely will be dropping clips and trailer links to all of them. So you can guys check it out for yourself. If you miss anything regarding E3, regarding this podcast, you will be able to click on the description box and check it out for yourself.
Definitely, definitely. So, Breath of the Wild 2.
Yeah, Zelda. For the next two topics, we're gonna talk about some Zelda. So you can go ahead and take it away.
Yeah, Breath of the Wild 2 got announced for 2022, and it looked very good. They had sky castles, and they had different areas you can go to in the sky. They had different weapons and new gimmicks that you could use. Like they had a teleportation for Link, where he takes this like drip and he drips up, and then he goes through the surface up to like the next level. And I was like, oh wow, this looks good. Then he has some other weapon that makes targets steel like the previous one, but it can make more than one, and you can push them in whatever direction you want them to go. So I think that this will be very interesting. Also, going to be a day one cop. Whenever they have that, I'm going to get it.
But I did think, since it's Zelda anniversary year, I really thought it was going to have a 2021 release. And he's like, you know what? Nintendo be trying to play it extra safe. Like, you know what? We're not even gonna give a 2020 release. That we're going to say 2022. So at any point in time, they probably low key put a 2022 holiday season.
Yeah. Well, I think what they did for the since it's his anniversary, that's why they did the Mr. Game and Watch Link
Yeah, I saw that.
collection.
Yeah, I saw
But
that.
I think that that's going to be worth a lot of money. Don't quote me, because I know that the Mario one, you can't really find that
You
anywhere
got it,
now.
didn't you?
I did. I have the Mario one. I collect those, and I actually went and got the Mr. Game and Watch when they announced it. So I actually bought one of those as well. So I'm just waiting on that to come out, because I said that's going to be a collector's item. Maybe one day it might be worth like $100 million.
Oh, you wish. But when we're talking about The Legend of Zelda, they actually gave a release date. I think they already had a release date for a while. They just showing more information regarding it with Skyward Sword Remastered.
That's
And
going to be so good as
now,
well.
now, that would be a day one purchase for me.
I'm getting that day one.
I never played Skyward Sword because I owned a Wii, but I never really. Because to be honest with you, Wii was just a Wii Sports machine for me. Just to be honest.
Really? I played the Metroid. I played a lot of games on mine. I played Twilight Princess.
I played Twilight Princess on the GameCube.
Oh nah, I played Twilight Princess on my Wii, and I destroyed it.
Yeah, I played it on the GameCube, but Skyward Sword, they actually gave, cause Skyward Sword was, a lot of the control was based off motion.
Yes.
So they actually allowed it to be still motion, but they actually allow people who actually own the Nintendo Switch, like the portable version of it. They can actually Nintendo Switch Lite. You can actually use the right analog stick instead of motion control, because the Switch Lite doesn't have actually detachable Joy-Cons, so you can actually use that type of control scheme instead of the motion control.
I think that's why they did it to where you can use the actual controller, or you can use the controller motion, depending on how you want to play.
But we are excited. The only thing I wish Nintendo would announce, I think what they intentionally did this because they didn't want to hinder Skyward Sword sales. Because the word on the street, y'all, the word on the street, they probably be doing a HD combo pack regarding Twilight Princess we just mentioned and Wind Waker. And that will be a day one purchase for me too.
If they do have that, that'll be a day one purchase. I get that hands down, no questions asked. Take my money, please.
So Skyward Sword look pretty good. I'm gonna check that out. The only thing is, it's a lot of controversy going on with the amiibo that came out with it, and it's like a quick travel guide. So you can just hit it in NFC, and it'll basically allow you to travel back and forth between RAMs and stuff like that.
Oh.
And a lot of people kind of don't like that. Like, well, why is this feature locked behind an amiibo that's hard to get?
Yeah.
People was kind of upset about that. But besides that, like people who play the game, like, well, it's a lot of checkpoints you can do and go back and forth. So that amiibo, to be honest, kind of useless. Like, I know it's a nice little feature and everything, but the game allows you to travel back and forth anyway. So it is what it is. You can save yourself a little money insteed of buying an amiibo just for the quick travel, which is still kind of stupid.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
So I'm gonna let you do this one because you know you love this franchise.
So, Pokemon. Let's talk about it.
Pokemon once again.
Yeah, because I play that Pokemon Go. So, Pokemon Shining Pearl and Brilliant Diamond are coming back out later this year. And it's going to be good. The way that the graphics looks, the way that they remade the characters and things like that, I think that it's going to be obviously a day one purchase for me. And I like all pretty much. Most of the exclusives I would like to think that I get most of them, and especially the ones I'm into like Pokemon. And then they also have Pokemon Arceus, which we got to see a little bit of that gameplay, and that's coming out in 2022. So when that comes out, it's going to be a little bit different from your regular Pokemon game because everything's going to be happening in real time. But I definitely grab that as well.
So, did you own Diamond or Pearl for 3DS?
I did not actually own those two, so this will be the first time I'm going through this series.
Okay. Because I had family members who owned it. I didn't own a 3DS. So,
I still have my 3DS.
yeah. So I think about it. I don't know. You the Pokemon guy around here. I like Pokemon. I actually love my Pikachu. Pikachu is that's my guy. But I don't know. I still kind of, I like Pokemon. I want the new one. I'm not really fully invested into Diamond nor Pearl.
Yeah,
but
you still have to beat the other one, right?
I don't play it, so I like my Nintendo Switch. I like it a lot, but I have to dedicate time to it. But while we talking about putting time towards my Switch, trust me, for our last topic, I was right. They actually gave me some news that I was mostly excited for, and they announced a new Mario Party. I said, that's what I want right there. And they actually gave me the Mario Party that I wanted. They was like, you know what? They say they listen to us. They finally gave me something I actually was looking for. So I'm like, I can't wait to get this. This is going to be a day. This is going to be pre-order, not day one. It's going to be pre-order.
Mario Party Superstars.
Yes. So Mario Party Superstars is coming to the Switch in October 27th, something like that, 29th, one or the other. But I will say this. What featured that the Mario Party that came out first that's on the Switch, it didn't have only online features until recently. Right. This coming out the gate with all the features announced with it on all. You can play everything online out the gate. And it's going to have over 100 mini games from all previous Mario Party. So 1, 2, 3, like all the 64 GameCube versions going to have a group of multiple mini games from those games, mostly the popular ones. And it's going to have multiple boards.
So I have 5 boards from the N64.
Yes, 64. Because if you play the current Mario Party, they had like 4 boards, but all 4 of them are extremely small. Like you can literally travel the whole board in like 3 tries. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, I saw the Mario Party. I was just like, this could have been an update for the current one. So I wasn't too impressed with it myself. I
don't think it could have been an update.
I think that it definitely could have been a digital.
Not for the 100, not additional 100 mini games and additional boards and all stuff like. Because even the premise a little bit is different. Like on the current Mario Party, you can change dice and all that stuff. Like they only got dice that go up to like 6 on the current Mario Party. This one got like 10. It's like different. It's a different style a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know. It just didn't hit me the right way. And particularly, I was just like, oh, and then the fact that it's pretty much kind of a remake with a twist to it, with the 100 different boards from all the Mario parties, and then you have 5 boards from the Nintendo 64, and they actually showed one of the board. I believe it's Peach's Cake, and you can see the difference. Like, don't get me wrong, it was a big difference what the cake looks like now versus what the cake looked back in the N64 days. And I was like, that's pretty cool, but I was like, I don't know if I'd be a day one purchase for me in particular, just because I felt like that could have been some type of DLC.
So you pick and choose when it comes to remaster that you want to get or not. Because Skyward Sword is literally a remaster of the Wii version. It's like not too much different. It's literally a rehash. Same thing regarding Twilight Princess and the Wind Waker, which just came out on the Wii U.
But you can get more value, I feel like, out of those games.
Nah, I don't agree with that, because once you beat it, that's it. Like, this is like you could always have a gathering, and it will always be a go-to game to play.
Yeah, well, if you're for friends and family,
that
will
always be a go-to game for that. But so we about to wrap it up. One thing we do want to announce, basically a little highlight or a little gateway to our next week episode. We will be talking about the best fight scenes in anime, and you guys can be excited because I know that's the main thing that people love in anime, is the fight scenes. And we're going to be giving our best fight scenes regarding anime universe. So
stay tuned.
And lastly, after that, we will be participating in Anime Midwest, which is only 2 weeks away, and we will be dressing up in cosplay. We will not be actually giving it away. We will let you guys guess in the box below. I mean, in the comments
down
below.
below.
You guys can guess in the comments below, and if you guess right, you can potentially probably win a gift card. So go ahead and get in that comment box and guess who we will be at Anime Midwest. And if you see us, go ahead and take a picture with us. No problem at all. But I am Master Mail,
Nightmare.
and we are out.